$60,000 trucks are suddenly showing up for 30 grand. Not as clickbait, not as a typo, and definitely not as junkyard rebuilds. Dealers are slicing prices, but you won't see 50% off plastered on a billboard. It's quiet, it's messy, and it's all about stacking discounts they hope you never connect. Factory rebates, dealer cash, aged inventory bonuses, hail damage credits, demo miles, even manufacturer buybacks. Each one looks small alone. Stir them together in the right order, and that shiny $60,000 sticker is gasping at $31,000, $32K, maybe less. Here's the catch. The window is short. 2026 models are already rolling toward lots still stuffed with 2025 metal. Every day those trucks sit, the dealer pays interest on them. Floor plan costs pile up, incentives expire, and managers start whispering, just move it. That's your signal. But if you walk in swinging for the fences without a plan, you'll get dazzled by a fake APR deal, buried in junk fees, and walk out thinking you won when you actually covered their losses. So we're doing this the right way. First, why the lots are overflowing. Then, how discounts actually stack to reach that mythical half-off. We'll hit the panic factors no one talks about: tariffs, timing, and interest rate whiplash. I'll show you exactly where the fattest cuts hide, how to negotiate so they can't claw it back, and what traps come with those monster markdowns. Stay to the end, because the last thing I'm giving you is the one sentence that will expose whether a dealer's still holding back money. Ready? Let's start with why they're desperate in the first place. 1. The glut. Why dealers are desperate. Lots are crammed. Trucks that should have vanished in spring are still baking under a July sun. Hoods up, balloons tied on, and zero movement. 2026 shipments are already booked, which means more metal inbound while last year sits sulking. Dealers don't own those trucks outright. They borrow to keep them on the lot. Every week that VIN doesn't find a driveway, the floor plan interest meter keeps ticking. At some point, cutting $8,000 today hurts less than bleeding $400 a month and carrying costs until Thanksgiving. Summer blowouts were supposed to clear the backlog. They didn't. Buyers are rate shy. Wages haven't kept up with sticker shock, and social feeds are packed with wait. Prices are dropping posts. The herd decided to hold out, and that indecision is killing managers. So you start hearing soft lines in the finance office. We've got some flexibility on aged units. Demo miles change the valuation. If you're okay with a small cosmetic issue, we can work something out. Translation: the door is cracked. Push. But simply knowing they're desperate doesn't cash you a discount. You have to weaponize that desperation. And that means learning exactly how these price cuts are built, layer by layer, so you can demand every slice without tipping your hand too early. Because the magic number doesn't come from one big slash, it's the sum of 6 little ones. Let's break that open. 2. The 50% play, turning tiny rebates into a jaw-dropper. Dealers don't hand you half off in one dramatic gesture. They hand you drips. The first drip is the obvious factory rebate, the one printed in the ad. 2 grand, maybe 3. It's bait. The second drip is the dealer markdown, usually labeled market adjustment. In the boom years, that was added on top. Now, it quietly disappears when you lean in. Third, there's aged inventory cash, money the manufacturer sends the dealer for units that have sat too long. They won't mention it. You have to invoke it. Keep stacking. Demo units, trucks used as service loaners or test drives, bleed value with every mile. That's another cut. Hail damage, cosmetic scuffs that drop 5 figures if you say the words cosmetic only, right? Manufacturer buybacks, those are fixed and warranted, but branded, so resale drops hard. That title stigma is leverage. Put them all together, and a truck that looked locked at $60,000 now slides toward $30,000 far faster than you'd think. Sequence matters more than swagger. Walk in waving half off, and they'll shut down. Start small. Confirm the public rebate. Ask politely about any dealer cash on aged units. The moment they admit there is something from the manufacturer, you know the door is open. Then bring up demo miles. After that, point out the hail dent you saw in the listing photo and ask how much they've set aside for that repair. Mention loyalty or conquest rebates, even if you don't qualify. Watch what they replace them with. You're not begging for discounts. You're auditing the discount menu. And the reason this ladder even exists, it's not just slow weekends. There's panic behind the curtain. Tariffs, rates, and model year whiplash. That panic is your fuel. Let's crack that layer next. 3. Timing panic. Tariffs, rates, and model year whiplash. What freaks a dealer out isn't one bad sales day. It's uncertainty. Spring was full of tariff rumors and policy chess moves. Some stores bulk ordered trucks ahead of potential import hikes, thinking they'd beat the price surge. Then rates didn't fall as fast as buyers wanted, and suddenly that extra inventory turned into a liability. Now, as new model years loom, they're staring at compounds full of last year's models and a balance sheet that looks uglier by the day. Add in the factory incentive calendar. Automakers dangle extra cash to move metal before quarter's end, then threaten to yank it. Managers know those dollars are use it or lose it, so they go fishing for anyone who'll bite. Meanwhile, customers read headlines about rates maybe dropping later this year. Translation: hesitation. And hesitation kills momentum. This stew creates frantic phone calls. The salesman who swore, "We're at our lowest," on Monday magically discovers one more approval from the GM by Wednesday. That's your tell. They're racing the clock, not calmly holding the line. If they're sprinting, you should be too. Straight toward the hidden honeypots, where the fattest cuts hide. Let's map those out. For where the real cuts hide, the juiciest discounts rarely sit on the front row with bow ties and balloons. They lurk in weird corners of the inventory. Start with anything labeled hail sale, demo, service loaner, manufacturer repurchase, or buyback. Those tags scare casual shoppers, and that fear is a discount multiplier. Cosmetic damage? 5-figure leverage for you if you're okay with a door ding. Reacquired vehicle? Full fix, full warranty. Scarlet title that tanks resale. If you plan to drive it into the ground, who cares? Next, look rural. Small-town dealers can drown in trucks they can't move locally. High inventory, low walk-ins. Perfect for a quiet fire sale. Don't just scroll AutoTrader and call it a day. Hit the dealer's own specials or manager markdown pages. Half the time they forget to update third-party sites, but their webmaster dumped the real number on their homepage last night. Use big listing tools to filter for price drop, or on Lot 90 plus days, you'll see the same VIN fall week after week. That's your signal to swoop. Ask for the internal worksheet, the piece of paper where they list cost, rebates, and credits. If you see lines like Floorplan Assist, cash, hail credit, you know there's padding they can peel off. They won't email it gladly. You'll have to ask directly, "Can you show me what's being applied to this unit so I understand the breakdown?" If they hesitate, you just learned something. Spotting the gold is only half the battle. You still have to turn hints into a locked, out-the-door price without letting them claw money back through rate tricks or doc fee shenanigans. That's where the playbook comes in. 5. The playbook. How to turn a tiny rebate into a 50% slice. You don't ask for half off. You engineer it. Step 1. Secure your own financing before you engage. When your rate is already approved, they can't dangle a shiny APR to distract you from the price. Plus, telling them I'm cash or I've got funding lined up forces them to compete on sale price, not payment. Step 2. Pick 3 VINs minimum. Same model, different dealers or conditions. Email or message each store and request out the door numbers in writing. Not MSRP, not before tax. Out the door. When they know you're comparing exact VINs, the games shrink. If one dealer suddenly finds another $2,000, you can put that on the table with the others. You want them tripping over each other. Step 3. Peel the layers in order. Start with what's public. Factory rebates. Confirm every line item. Then say, "I noticed this unit's been on the lot since March. Does it qualify for any aged inventory assistance from the manufacturer?" That question alone screams, "I know the game." They either cough it up or you move on. Next, demo miles. This truck shows 1,400 miles. How are you accounting for that in the price? Push on hail or cosmetic issues. If that's already been repaired, what credit was applied to the price? If not, I'm happy to take it as is. What's the allowance? Step 4. Test the conditional rebate trick. Your ad shows $7,500 off, but is that including loyalty, college, military? I don't qualify for those. Watch how fast they replace it with dealer cash to keep you hooked. That swap tells you there's more in the bucket. Keep tapping. You're not rude. You're precise. Step 5. Freeze the win. Great. Send me the buyer's order with taxes, fees, and dock charges included. When it lands, scan for junk, nitrogen tire upcharges, VIN etching, $999 for Pro Pack. Cross them out in writing and resend. If they push back, you already have 2 more VINs in play. Leverage is freedom. Final check. Warranty and title status. Demo. Usually fine. Just make sure the warranty clock starts when you drive off, not when they first plated it. Hail. Cosmetic only. Confirm in writing that nothing structural was touched. Buyback. Ask why it was repurchased. Transmission glitch? Electrical gremlin? If it's fixed, great. But future buyers will flinch. Price that into your decision now, not when you're desperate to sell in 3 years. Do it right, and you won't need to scream half off. The math simply adds up. But big cuts come with fine print, and some fine print can sink you later. Let's make sure you know which traps matter and which are just smoke. 6. The catch. Titles, warranties, and resale. Cheap often means complicated. A manufacturer buyback might be rock solid mechanically and come with a fresh warranty, but that branded title will shadow you at resale. Banks may lend less, insurance might raise an eyebrow, and buyers will try to lowball. Salvage or rebuild titles can ruin your trade and leverage completely. That killer discount today might evaporate the moment you try to swap keys in a couple of years. Wholesale specials look clean on paper. Then you realize your comprehensive coverage pays out differently because the damage existed before your policy. Or you find out the paintless dent repair warranty they promised only covers panels they actually touched. Demo and loaner units are safer. Full factory warranty usually remains, sometimes even extended to sweeten the pot. Still, confirm the start date on that warranty. Some dealers count from the day they put the car into loaner service. You want it starting when you sign. Beware the word certified. It sounds official, but some stores throw it around while quietly stripping perks like roadside assistance or bumper-to-bumper extensions. Ask for the actual warranty booklet or a VIN-specific coverage printout. If a panel was repainted, verify it's cosmetic. If it's structural, that's a different conversation. None of this is a deal breaker if you plan to drive the truck into the ground. In that case, who cares what the next buyer thinks? The title flavor doesn't matter if you're keeping it until the wheels fall off. Just make sure you're not overpaying for the privilege. The discount should outweigh the future pain, not equal it. Now you know the traps. Time to seal it with a close that makes the viewer think and makes the dealer sweat. Conclusion: your move. Inventory is bloated. Incentives are rising. Managers are watching the calendar like it's a bomb timer. This is the rare overlap where market fear lines up perfectly with your chance to score. But it only works if you play the sequence, not the hype. Start with financing in your pocket. Hunt the corners. Hail demos, buybacks, rural lots. Audit every discount bucket. Public rebates, aged unit cash, demo miles, cosmetic credits, replace conditional offers. Lock it down in writing. Slice off the junk fees. Verify that warranty start date. Decide if the title scar matters for your plan. That's how you go from decent deal to, did I really just get a $60,000 truck for $30,000? And here's the one sentence that blows up the game. Can you show me every incentive, credit, or assistance program currently applied to this VIN, even the ones that aren't public? If they pause, they're still hiding money. If they answer fast and send proof, congrats, you found a straight shooter. So tell me in the comments, if a dealer refuses to break down the numbers, do you walk or do you push harder? And if you want the exact email template I use to force out the real price, that's the next video. Hit subscribe, because I'm about to hand you the script that makes sales managers sweat.